Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I thought I should tell you all about, I've already told you about embarkation and the problem with my medallion and that they put me in a different room and it got all mixed up and I couldn't get in. But now let's talk about disembarkation. Let's talk about getting off the ship and the testing and do I have to bring my suitcase with me and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to answer all those questions very, very shortly. Okay, so first of all, this is a little bit of an unusual back-to-back. It's not kind of like a reverse. If you're sailing, say, to Alaska and you're doing a northbound cruise and then you do a southbound cruise, so you're kind of leaving one port and then starting from a different port to come back. Here, I'm taking a cruise from Seattle to Alaska and back to Seattle and then Seattle, back to Alaska and Seattle. So I'm going back to Seattle again. Now, if you remember on the Edge, they made everybody get tested, get off the ship, and then get back on the ship. But that was right when they were changing the procedures around. They just instituted the new testing policy for everybody. The CDC had the new recommendations down. They were introducing more masking on board. All this kind of stuff was happening. So I think that's why in that particular case, on that particular cruise, it was a little bit of a mess for the testing and everybody getting on and off the ship. It just became a bit of a problem. Now, on this cruise, I went this morning. I had an appointment. They set me an appointment in my message, and it said that I have to report to the hospital, the medical center, on board on deck 4 at 10 o'clock. Walked down. They checked my name off the list. They said, double-checked. Are you flying home, or are you staying on the ship? Or are you needing to fly someplace in particular that needs a different type of test? And I said, no, I am staying on board, so I just need the antigen test. And so I got a sticker. And then they called my name in to go see the nurse inside who did the swab, put it in a tube, put the sticker on the tube, and said, basically send me back to my room. And if there was a problem, somebody would contact me. That was 10 o'clock this morning. It is now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so far so good. I guess I'm still negative, which is a very good relief, I'm happy to say, because I don't want to spend the next part of my cruise in here. I'm hoping for a little better weather than Tony and I had. It was still beautiful. Love the cruise, love the staff, love the people I met on board. But I could use a little bit of sunshine going into some of these places next week. So fingers crossed there. So now quickly before I talk about the disembarkation testing, let me just ask you if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. It really does help the channel. It just lets you know that I've done a video and are you interested in watching it. It's not signing up for anything. You're not going to get mailed. I'm not going to knock on your door and demand money. I'm not going to do any of that. It just really does help the channel and I would so much appreciate it. Another thing is I don't have to move. They moved me into a room that was available for the 2 weeks. It's the same type of cabin. Would I have chose this cabin? For myself, no. And here's the reason. Right now we're in the rainy season, and my particular balcony cabin is the lowest one on the ship. And so it actually sticks out from the ship. And then above me, right above the beginning of my balcony, is another balcony, and then behind them is the rest of the ship that goes up like that. So the ones above me stick out from them, and then I stick out even further, so I have no overhead cover. That wouldn't be so bad, except once it rains, you don't go on your balcony normally in the pouring rain anyway, right? We don't do that. However, once the rain stops and I want to go out my balcony, I'm getting the drips from the balconies above because I'm sticking out. And so it's literally half my balcony is a line of dripping water, like heavy, heavy drops. And so I can't set my camera out there because the water's still running on my camera. It'll fry my camera. So it made shooting from my balcony very interesting. I had to try and shoot from indoors most of the time. And that means your window for your camera lens, because I have a wide angle lens, is a little tricky. So, and it's also darker because you're indoors, and some cameras don't like the difference between outdoors and indoors when it's trying to adjust the light. So it made my life a little harder. That's why I want some good sunny weather next week so that doesn't happen. So I would not have chose this cabin. If I was in a sunny climate, probably wouldn't be a bother. Like, I don't care there's people above me. They don't really look down on you. It's not that big a deal. It was just the wet. The wet on this rainy cruise was annoying a bit. Now, I'm in the same room and I don't have to get off the ship. So I have my test. I can wander around the ship all I want. Because I'm a elite in Princess, I can go to the elite lounge and have breakfast. Some of the restaurants are open till a certain time, including the buffet and the International Cafe. But after that, most things closed up and get ready for the next cruise and the next crew, guests coming on board. But I don't have to leave, and I can order room service 24 hours still. I can still order room service tomorrow if I stay in my room and I'm doing work instead of going into the city. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow in sunny Seattle. You don't hear that very often. But the day we left Seattle was absolutely gorgeous weather. Like, the sun was shining, the city was sparkling in the back. Looking at the Needle disappear off in the background, and the mountain, volcanic mountain in the background was gorgeous. But apparently tomorrow is going to be a lot more cloudy and rain showers off and on all day long. So I doubt I'll get off tomorrow because I am spending an extra day in Seattle when I arrive back the next week. So I'll probably just prepare for my cruise, get my laundry ready, send it out, because I've been here a while and I still only carry one suitcase. Right, suitcase? Yeah, suitcase agrees. But that's disembarkation part A. Because remember, I'm not getting off the ship, but I'm not doing my testing. And the testing when I get off the ship is completely different than getting the testing when you're staying on the ship. And so when we get close to that one, I'll tell you all about that disembarkation process. But let me just stay right now, because we all know, I just mentioned, Carnival's not testing people for their flights home. Princess is testing people for their flights home. And it's just a different procedure, and that includes PCR test, a quick PCR test that's supposed to be ready within 60 minutes of getting my test done. So you can technically book yourself a flight, say at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you get off the ship by 10, you should have plenty of time to get to your flight and fly home and get your test done and get negative. I cautioned, erred on the side of caution. I booked a hotel at the airport, so if anything happens to my test, I can just walk across the street to the walk-in clinic in the Seattle airport, get my PCR test, and get on my flight the next day, just in case. I planned it for this time because of what happened last time. Also, I booked a few more cruises. I'll let you guys know what those are going to be, but I'm looking forward to some of them. Brand new ships, by the way. Brand new ships. And so stay tuned for those in the future. But so far, testing and disembarkation, very, very simple with Princess Cruise Lines. I'm very, very happy about it. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.